profit to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up they octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on the mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top is missing, the opposition in. All that lane switching, this is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle show. This so perennial, do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Los Angeles.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Los Angeles Rams. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And this is a guy who cares totally about his team. He will do whatever it takes for a play to be successful and for his team to win. I've seen him become a lead blocker on running plays, even though I'm sure his coaches don't want him anywhere near that pile.
Now it's a bootleg with Winston. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Here we go.
A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, there's a pretty big start right there. They go bombs away on the first play from scrimmage.
Put a smile on your face, didn't it? Not because you're rooting for anyone, but that's the way to begin a game, to put someone back on their heels and announce that they plan to be aggressive.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. This is Ronald Jones, played his collegiate ball on this field for USC. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. And we get a glance now at the Buccaneer offense.
And a big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs? Because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to... Continue.
Ready? Flag! What do that? You can't rock me. You can't rock me. You can't rock me.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So 3rd down, and defensively the Rams have added 2 extra DBs. From the gun, Winston. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by a man who was undrafted out of Buffalo, standing at 6'7". It's Tyree Jackson. Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. And the offensive starters here for Los Angeles.
And the schedule makers have given them a little break right here. Back-to-back home games, and they won last week. So they're trying to make it 2 in a row before they hit the road next week. They have to take advantage of this break in the schedule.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jackson, and this is incomplete. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They're in the spot statistically that you don't want to be in against the pass. Number 32 in the league, dead last.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the quarterback. They're in the top 10 in the league in sacks.
Now it's Jackson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. It was the linebacker, Devin White, there to knock it away.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Time for a look at the defensive starters now for the Rams. They were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
The best defenses I know, they draw lines in the sand and say you're not going to cross that. For most of them, it's 100 yards of total offense. They didn't quite accomplish that, but still a pretty darn good game last week. Just over 100 yards of total offense given up.
On play action, Winston. He's got Evans. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer 1st down. And that's the first connection, the number 1 overall pick in 2015, finding the number 7 pick in 2014 in Evans.
And what a great target Mike Evans is for Jameis Winston. Winston's a pretty accurate thrower, but that catch radius that Evans provides, that makes him that much more dangerous. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
This is 3rd and 1, very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Mike Mike Evans. His second touchdown on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaquille Barrett put that sack by his name in the stat sheet.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
To throw is Jackson. Going down the middle, and it's complete. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or 2 short, and it's 4th down.
Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you've got to at least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it, don't you?
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. Over the middle, complete. That's James. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. Throwing again on 2nd down. Winston, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit that sack to Dante Fowler Jr.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Winston. He finds his target, it's Evans. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. It's a big play, Winston to Evans. "56 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field.
Now it's Carson. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now Mason Crosby on for the field goal. And this one a 41-yard attempt. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Shift. 45.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Jackson now. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on 3rd down. Didn't get beyond them, no pickup.
And we shift to spotlighting Mike Evans. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that.
And got his man complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin, an 80-yard touchdown as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Crosby with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Todd Gurley and the Rams offense set to take over. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The Rams on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. Now it's Jackson. And that will be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. They'll roll him out right. Now he'll pull. And Winston lost the football. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
On first down, it's Gurley. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats, and he'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on third down. Here's Jackson to throw. That is caught at the 7. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll try and push it in with Gurley. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Todd Gurley, his third touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. They were able to push him backwards on first down, but this time he forces his way in.
I wonder if he went back to the huddle and said, guys, just a little bit more help, and I can get it done on this one. Maybe even overruled the play call from the sideline, just feeling like he had that opportunity, and he wanted to cash it in.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Jameis now on first down. That's caught by Howard. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You've got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield, or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. To throw is Winston. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Winston now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. Draw play, Winston to Jones. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Play action now, Winston. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 44-yard line. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
Ready? 25.
A first down throw for Winston. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does. Is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Watch the screen. Pass.
This is Carson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
Let's go.
So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend.
And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
Let's go, let's go!
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Now Jackson. Looking right sideline, that's complete. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Henderson now on 1st and 10. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A.
That was pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. On the counter, Gurley. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Check 45 to Mike.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Jackson escaping the press. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Carl Nassib, excellent job on that play. A big loss. 18 yards.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
45, Mike, 45.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Shaquille Barrett picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They run again with Carson. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They go play action. Winston looking downfield for Godwin. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 26. It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. 41 yards. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. To throw, Winston. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. They run the counter. Carson, and he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On 3rd down, Winston. Caught by Jones. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A good run of 6 yards there gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. They'll try to run with Carson. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. On 3rd down, it's Carson. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, you remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
And he'll weave his way up, all the way up, a few yards shy of midfield.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
Jackson on 1st down. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Gurley. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Jackson. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Credit the sack to Vita Vea.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Another try after the first down sack. Jackson, he gets it to Cooks. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain of 32 that time.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack.
Right there.
To try again after the sack. Jackson flushed out right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Sets up a 3rd down and 18.
The Rams on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. From the gun, Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Carlton Davis picks it. Looking for Woods that time.
Well, you're trailing. It's the 4th quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
Pretty good results here on the 1st down run as he takes this forward for about 6. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He'll field this at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. So all eyes on this Rams offense. Down by 2 touchdowns. 1:40 remaining. Their perfect start to the season in serious peril as they come up on 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Jackson now, throwing again. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
We all knew. Hey, check Mike 45. Check Mike 45. Good. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Good. Mike 45.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
Now Carson fumbles the football. And now the Rams have got it going the other way. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, that's one of those mistakes. That's a fumble that when they get to the sidelines, I know you're mad, Coach, but look, we've still got this locked down. But that's not necessarily true, is it?
No, their hopes are slim, but you just hate to give them any hope. You could have sealed it right there.
Yeah, could have finished them off and taken away all hope, as we like to say.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Operating from the gun, Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaquille Barrett in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move.
They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. And the pressure gets to him again. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Coming this way. Here we go.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Rams' 18-yard line.
Three down.
So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Tampa Bay,